Everyone's telling you to work harder, grind more, sleep less, drink 12 raw eggs and ascend. Cute. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some people improve 10 times faster than others. And it's not because they're better. It's because they understand how growth actually works. They're not stronger, they're not smarter, they're just smarter about getting stronger. Jin-Woo didn't become the world's strongest hunter by luck. He found the system, studied the rules, and broke the difficulty curve. This is about that system, the science behind real growth speed, and how to use it to outpace everyone around you without selling your soul to hustle culture. By the end, you won't just want to level up. You'll understand how to do it faster than 99% of people ever will. Improvement isn't about doing more. It's about doing less with deadly precision. Let's be honest, your to-do list looks like a short novel. You're trying to read more, eat clean, master 6 new skills, start a side hustle, call your mom, and somehow sleep before 2 a.m. And then you wonder why nothing's sticking. Most people aren't failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they're overstimulated and underfocused. Cognitive research from Stanford shows that multitasking reduces productivity by up to 40%. That's not just inefficient, it's brain sabotage. Growth thrives in focused intensity. You build momentum when your attention stops bouncing like a caffeinated squirrel. This is why elite performers don't chase 10 goals at once. They pick one stat and max it out. When Jin-Woo started leveling up, he didn't try to do everything at once. In Solo Leveling, Episode 8, he focuses entirely on physical strength, clearing dungeons solo, optimizing every battle for one goal: raw power. He wasn't dabbling. He was hunting growth with intention. One stat, one dungeon, one purpose. That's how you outpace the crowd. Think of your life like character development in an RPG. You wouldn't spend 1 point in 20 different stats and expect to survive the boss fight. You'd pick strength or agility or magic and go all in. So why are you trying to master your morning routine, YouTube algorithm, deep squat, spiritual clarity, and hydration goals at the same time? No wonder it feels like you're running in circles. The people who grow fastest, they're not necessarily more talented. They just refuse to be distracted. They build an advantage by doing less with more force, while everyone else is drowning in noise. Here's your next upgrade. Pick one growth stat this month. Confidence, discipline, focus, fitness, whatever. Build your week around it. Block distractions. Track only that. Become the kind of person who trains like Jin-Woo. Not everywhere, not everything, just one thing. Done with obsession. You know what makes legends? Push-ups. Literally, boring, repetitive push-ups. Most people treat boredom like it's a flaw. The moment something feels repetitive, they assume it's not working. So they quit, or switch plans, or chase whatever shiny new method's trending on TikTok this week. And then they wonder why progress stalls. Psychologist James Clear explains this in Atomic Habits. The fastest way to grow isn't by chasing motivation, it's by automating behavior. Habits aren't shortcuts, they're neurological blueprints. Once you install them, you don't have to waste willpower. You just execute. The boring stuff, that's the part where the real transformation happens, and that's where everyone else gives up. In Solo Leveling, Episode 9, Jin-Woo repeats the same quest loop: push-ups, squats, long-distance runs, every single day. It's not glamorous, there's no epic soundtrack, just sweat, stats, and solitude. But those boring daily quests, they're what turned him from the weakest hunter into something terrifying. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation, you just do it. Now, imagine if your workouts, writing sessions, or study blocks were that automatic. That's the game. Build habits so consistent they stop requiring effort. Because discipline that feels like instinct, that's a weapon. Here's the plot twist. The difference between mediocre and elite isn't talent. It's the number of boring reps they were willing to do without applause. Everyone wants to grow. Almost no one's willing to do the same 3 things every day for 6 months. But those who are, they evolve. Quietly, relentlessly, unfairly fast. Your next upgrade is simple. Pick one boring habit that aligns with your stat from earlier. do it for 30 days. No skipping, no overthinking, no applause needed. This is where speed meets silence, where growth becomes inevitable because you stopped waiting to feel inspired. If it doesn't scare you even a little, it's probably not worth doing. Every time you feel uncomfortable, tired, anxious, uncertain, your brain tries to protect you. It says, maybe later. Let's wait until we're ready. This feels wrong. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your brain isn't wired for greatness. It's wired for survival. And that wiring, it's the reason you keep quitting. In neuroscience, there's a concept called the optimal stress zone. Yerkes-Dodson Law, 1908. Too little challenge and you don't grow. Too much and you burn out. But just enough pressure, that's where neuroplasticity kicks in. That's where the brain rewires. That's where transformation begins. Growth isn't supposed to feel safe. It's supposed to feel like you might break, but don't. In Solo Leveling, Episode 11, Jin-Woo enters the demon castle alone. Every monster is stronger. Every fight feels unwinnable, but he keeps pushing because he knows the rule. Harder dungeons equals better loot. And as his body breaks and rebuilds, something deeper happens. His mind levels up. He becomes calm in chaos, deadly under pressure, unshakable, even when everything hurts. Think about your own discomfort zones. Public speaking, asking for help, launching that idea you've been sitting on for 2 years. Those aren't roadblocks, they're quests. Discomfort is just a hidden prompt asking, are you ready to level up? Here's what the quitters don't know. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the trigger. It's the signal that says you're exactly where you need to be. The ones who improve the fastest, they don't avoid discomfort. They train inside it. Here's your next upgrade. Find one thing you've been avoiding because it feels too hard. Step into it daily, gently, and on purpose. Don't wait to feel ready. Let readiness catch up to you. Because the final form isn't built in comfort zones. It's built in the fire. You don't need to outshine anyone. You just outgrow them while they're still talking. You're scrolling through highlight reels. Everyone's making progress. 6-pack in 90 days. 6 figures in 6 weeks. How I healed in Bali. And you start asking the worst question of all. Am I falling behind? It's a trap. Comparison will convince you you're losing when you're actually evolving. In psychology, this is called the spotlight effect. We think people are noticing our every move, but the truth is, no one's watching. They're too busy thinking you're watching them. The fastest way to lose momentum? Constantly peeking sideways. The fastest way to gain? Put your head down, build in silence. Let them find out when it's too late to catch up. By the mid-arc of Solo Leveling, Jin-Woo stops explaining himself. He walks into rooms where people still think he's weak until he moves, until he fights, until it's already over. No warning, no announcement, just a man who built himself while no one was paying attention. You ever see that friend who vanished for 6 months and came back shredded, focused, and emotionally leveled up like a Buddhist cyborg? That's the power of silent growth. You don't owe anyone a trailer. Just show up one day like a sequel. People who constantly advertise their hustle rarely have time to do the work. People who go quiet, they're usually engineering something brutal. Let others perform. Let them talk about what they're about to do. You build something so real, it speaks for itself. Next upgrade. Choose a silent stat. Something you'll improve without telling anyone. Let your results hit different when no one saw them coming. This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you never needed the noise. Most people aren't building systems. They're just reacting faster than they used to. Let's be honest. You've tried to change before. Motivation hit. You made a plan. You did the thing for like a week, and then the chaos came back. Stress, burnout, excuses, and suddenly you're in that loop again. Tired of falling off, tired of starting over. Why? Because you're relying on emotion, not systems. James Clear said it best. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your growth plan depends on how you feel each day, you already lost. The fastest improvers remove emotion from the equation. They don't hope they'll feel focused. They design their life to force focus to happen. Late in solo leveling, Jin-Woo barely flinches in battle. Not because he feels brave, because he's already run thousands of reps, thousands of times. His entire body is systemized to respond. No emotion, just execution. And that's the moment he stops reacting and starts controlling. Think of an elite pilot in a storm. They're not trusting their gut. They're running a system they've drilled 10,000 times. Your life needs the same thing, because growth doesn't happen when you feel like it. It happens when the structure makes it inevitable. You can keep chasing energy, or you can become a machine. A beautiful, disciplined, evolving machine that knows exactly what to do every day, regardless of motivation, doubt, or chaos. That's not boring. That's unstoppable. Here's your final system upgrade. Identify your weakest moment in the day, the time you usually fall off. Build a trigger and a plan that removes decision-making at that time. Example, if you always skip your evening workout, lay your gym clothes out by 5 p.m. At 7 p.m., music goes on, workout starts, no thinking, no deciding. Just systems, just reps, just progress. You're not behind because life is unfair. You're behind because no one taught you how to play the game. Jin-Woo didn't rise by chance. He learned the system. He built loops. He focused. He suffered. And then he left everyone behind. You don't need more motivation. You need precision, a system, a target, and the courage to keep going when it gets boring or hard or lonely. Growth isn't magic. It's math. And now you've got the formula. So stop waiting. Because the truth is, you were never powerless. You were just unfocused.